Ashes and Embers. Quan, The Illusion of Forever. Daniel Caldwell had always thought of marriage as something like a house. Some parts required upkeep, leaky faucets, creaking doors, cracked paint, but as long as the foundation held strong, the house would last a lifetime. And with Rachel, he believed the foundation was unshakable. To their friends, they were the couple everyone admired. The pair that still laughed at inside jokes after 10 years. The ones who hosted dinner parties where Rachel charmed guests with her sharp wit, while Daniel poured wine and teased her affectionately across the table. On social media, their lives looked like a highlight reel. Anniversary trips to the coast, candlelit dinners, silly selfies taken in bed on Sunday mornings. People told them often, "You two are perfect together." Daniel would smile at those words, sometimes squeezing Rachel's hand, sometimes brushing a kiss against her temple. In those moments, he felt lucky, blessed even. They weren't perfect, of course. No marriage was, but he thought they were as close as anyone could get. They'd met in a bookstore 12 years ago, in the crime thriller section. Rachel had been looking for a novel her professor recommended when she accidentally knocked a book from the shelf. Daniel bent down to pick it up, and their hands touched. She laughed nervously, apologized, and Daniel, awkward but earnest, joked, "Guess it's fate, or a plot twist." She had smiled, the kind of smile that warmed him from the inside, and before he left the store, she scribbled her number on the back of a receipt. A coffee date turned into dinner, then weekend hikes, then shared apartments, then vows under a string of fairy lights in her parents' backyard. By the time they married, Daniel was convinced that Rachel was not just his partner, but his anchor in life. For years, the marriage had been steady. They built traditions, takeout Fridays, Saturday morning farmers markets, late-night board games where Rachel always cheated but swore she didn't. Holidays were spent with both families, laughter spilling into the night as everyone marveled at how natural Daniel and Rachel were together. But time has a way of dulling the edges of even the sharpest joy. Daniel's career as a project manager was demanding. He worked late hours, sometimes answering emails long after Rachel had gone to bed. He hated the distance it created, but he told himself it was necessary. One more promotion, and they'd have the financial security to finally plan for children, something they had always talked about someday. Rachel, meanwhile, had blossomed in her own career. What started as a part-time teaching gig at a community arts center turned into a full-time role managing exhibitions at a gallery downtown. Daniel was proud of her. He loved the way her eyes lit up when she talked about new artists, how she lost track of time sketching ideas for upcoming displays. But with her success came long hours, networking dinners, and late nights spent catching up on work. At first, Daniel didn't mind. He encouraged her. He remembered the years when she doubted herself, when she compared her progress to others, and he wanted her to shine. Yet, slowly, he began to notice the absences. Dinners grew quieter. Rachel's phone, once left on the counter without thought, now rarely left her hand. She angled it away when she typed, quick to lock the screen when he walked into the room. Their conversations, once lively and sprawling, shrank to small talk. "How was your day?" "Fine." "Busy?" "Tiring." The first time the thought even brushed Daniel's mind, he pushed it away. He wasn't the jealous type. Rachel loved him. She had proven that countless times. Besides, wasn't it normal for people to get wrapped up in work? One night, though, while they sat on the couch watching a movie, he reached for her hand. She let him take it, but her grip was limp, distracted. When her phone buzzed on the coffee table, he felt her stiffen beside him. "Who's that?" he asked casually. "Work," she said quickly, almost too quickly before slipping the phone into her lap. The rest of the movie blurred. Later, as they climbed into bed, Daniel watched her scroll through her phone, her lips twitching into a faint smile at something he couldn't see. When she noticed him looking, she set it aside, leaned over, and kissed his forehead. "Good night, love," she whispered. Daniel shut his eyes, swallowing the unease rising in his chest. He told himself not to overthink it, not to ruin something beautiful with suspicion. After all, wasn't trust the cornerstone of marriage? He wrapped his arms around her, clinging to the rhythm of her breathing as it slowed. But even in sleep, the weight in his chest lingered. To the world, they were still perfect. To Daniel, they were still forever. But forever, he would soon learn, had cracks he had never noticed before.